Everyone, so today I'm going to show you the TicTacToe program that my friend Kai and I wrote. So this program acts just like any other TicTacToe games, and it will show the game in the command window. And our motivation for this game is to have toddler or stressed adults who play this game to relieve their stress, and of course entertain their toddlers. And we also have a motivation to do this because we want to be more skilled in the MATLAB and use the MATLAB language to program different, in order to achieve different purposes. Alright, so here's our program. First, I'm going to run this program and show you how this works. And here's the command window. Alright, we'll run the program. So, first, it'll ask you to choose a player. 1 stands for O and -1 stands for X. And X will always go first. So as a human player, I am going to choose X because I want to go first. So I have to put in -1. Alright. So since I go first, then I have to pick which spot to place this dice in. So of course I want to put it in the middle. So this grid we created as by a 3x3 grid. So first I have to choose the row of the chase that we're going to put it in. So it'll be the second row, second column. So we'll place it right in the middle. And then the computer takes its turn and place it at the corner. So now we want to place it again. So what I would do is to put in other dice here. So that would be the first row, first column. So first row, first column, right here. And the computer takes its turn again. And then it did not stop me from winning. So I am going to take the third row, third column in order to win. Third column. And the program will display X wins. Alright, it's that simple. Now let's look at the code. So we started by creating a grid that contains 9 zeros. That's like 3x3. And at the very beginning, we'll display this string. It says choose a player. 1 stands for 0, 1 stands for O, and -1 stands for X. And X will go first. And then we'll ask the player for input. And we'll only ask the player, and I will ask the player for input, and then assign that input into turn. But before we ask the player for input, we have to make sure that the spot they choose is actually empty. So if we take the output of the spot the player choose, and we'll make sure it's not equal to 1 or -1 in order. We said earlier 1 is O and -1 is X. So it's either, so that spot has to be empty. And so in that case, we can let the player place a dice. And of course, at the same time, this loop cannot be run for more than 9 times because that's the maximum amount of times that a human user can play. So if the turn is -1, we'll display player plays chase X and player plays chase Y. And then we take the input of the row and column that the player choose, and then put it in, and then place that chase into the grid. Otherwise, we're just going to pick a random X and Y. And this function will this function shows how the computer thinks. So we'll display computer's turn right after the human user plays. So if turn equals to -1, we display computer turn. And then we display all the X and O that was there previously. And then we're gonna display this device, this line divide all the all the row apart. And then this sets all the columns apart. Alright, so this function is to display the previous grid. And then let's keep going down, and we'll use a function called check_win. And this function check_win is right here. This function would take the take the spot at a grid, and we will export the x and y value of that point, and in order to find out if this player wins or not. So since we set O as -1, x equals to 1, so if 3 of them in a row, like if a row equals to -3, then that means O wins. If a row equals to 3, then it means x wins. So we put it here, we calculate the sum of each row and see if anyone wins. If x wins, we get an output that's 1, and we later on use the output. If it's 1, then it displays O wins, because we don't want to include a string value in the function, because that will make it more complicated. That's why we keep it as a numerical. And otherwise, if the sum equals to -3, then it means O wins, because it's 3, -1 added together, so O wins. And then that's to check horizontal, all the rows, and then this will check all the columns. The only difference that it has is the for loops. This for loops has the x equals to 1 to 3 is nested inside of the y equals to 1 to 3, so that can check all the columns. For this one, the right-hand diagonal is going to check this one. So when all the x's are the same, so x 1 1, 2 2, 3 3. So if it's diagonally equal to -3 or 3, someone wins 2. And the last one is the left-hand diagonal, which will look like this. So if, like what we said, we get the output from the check_win, and if the output is 1, then it means O wins, and then otherwise X wins. So that is the end of the program, and thank you for watching.